"You're just a pizza maker. I'll destroy you." Karen Williams had screamed while causing a scene in Mike's shop. 2 years later, that same Karen was standing across from Mike, crying and saying, "Please forgive me." Mike Rossi, 38 years old, was the third-generation owner of Tony's Pizza, a family business in the small Ohio town of Millfield. His grandfather, Tony Rossi, had come from Italy in 1952 and opened this shop with nothing but a dream and a family recipe. His father, Frank, had continued the tradition through the tough economic times of the 80s and 90s. Now Mike was carrying on that legacy with his wife, Jennifer, and their 8-year-old daughter, Emma. Tony's Pizza was a small but beloved spot in the heart of Millfield on Main Street, right between Miller's Hardware Store and First National Bank. It was a gathering place for locals, affordable comfort food for high school students, and a slice of authentic Italian-American tradition for the whole community. Mike hand-tossed every pizza using his grandfather's techniques, made sauce from a 70-year-old family recipe, and had been serving the community with pride for 15 years since taking over from his father. This story began on a cold Ohio evening in October 2022. Mike was having a normal Tuesday night. The dinner rush had started at 6 p.m., mostly families picking up pizzas after soccer practice and work. That's when Karen Williams walked in. Karen Williams was a 45-year-old woman who lived in Millfield Heights, the wealthiest subdivision in town, with a self-entitled attitude that had made her infamous at PTA meetings. Her husband was a corporate attorney who commuted to Columbus, and she served as president of the Millfield Elementary PTA. Karen had a reputation around town, demanding, never satisfied, always complaining, and quick to threaten legal action over the smallest inconveniences. "I want to order a large pepperoni pizza," Karen said, aggressively approaching the counter while talking loudly on her iPhone. "Sure thing," Mike replied with his usual friendly smile. "It'll be about 15 minutes for a fresh one." 15 minutes? That's absolutely ridiculous. "I need it in 10. I have a PTA emergency meeting." Mike patiently explained, wiping flour from his hands. "Ma'am, we hand-make every pizza fresh to order. Quality takes time, but I promise it'll be worth the wait. It's the same recipe my grandfather brought from the old country." Karen's face immediately soured. "I don't have time for your little family history lecture. Just make it fast. And make sure it's perfect. I know people." Mike returned to the kitchen and began making Karen's pizza with extra care. 12 minutes later, the pizza was ready. Perfect golden crust, generous Wisconsin mozzarella, quality pepperoni evenly distributed, exactly to the standards that had kept Tony's Pizza in business for.
"I want to order a large pepperoni pizza," Karen said, aggressively approaching the counter while talking loudly on her iPhone. "Sure thing," Mike replied with his usual friendly smile. "It'll be about 15 minutes for a fresh one." 15 minutes? That's absolutely ridiculous. "I need it in 10. I have a PTA emergency meeting." Mike patiently explained, wiping flour from his hands. "Ma'am, we hand-make every pizza fresh to order. Quality takes time, but I promise it'll be worth the wait. It's the same recipe my grandfather brought from the old country." Karen's face immediately soured. "I don't have time for your little family history lecture. Just make it fast, and make sure it's perfect. I know people." Mike returned to the kitchen and began making Karen's pizza with extra care. 12 minutes later, the pizza was ready. Perfect golden crust, generous Wisconsin mozzarella, quality pepperoni evenly distributed, exactly to the standards that had kept Tony's Pizza in business for 70 years. "Here you go, ma'am," Mike said, placing the steaming pizza box on the counter. "That'll be $18.50. Karen opened the box and stared at the pizza for a full 10 seconds. "This is completely unacceptable." Mike was confused. "What's wrong with it, ma'am?" "The pepperoni distribution is uneven. Some slices have more than others. This is amateur work. Don't you people have quality control standards?" Mike looked at the pizza. It was perfectly normal pepperoni distribution, with a good amount on each slice. "Ma'am, this is exactly how we've always made our pizzas. Each slice has plenty of pepperoni, and it's made with premium ingredients. Don't argue with me. Karen's voice rose, causing other customers to look over. I'm a customer, and in America the customer is always right. Make me a new one. Now. Other customers in the shop, including the Johnson family with their 3 kids and old Mr. Peterson, who came in every Tuesday, started looking uncomfortable. Mike felt embarrassed but tried to stay professional. Of course, I'd be happy to make you a new one, but there will be another 15-minute wait for a fresh pizza. No, I want it now. And I want it for free because you people messed up the first one. This is exactly why small businesses fail. No standards. Mike took a deep breath, thinking about his grandfather's advice about treating every customer with respect. Ma'am, I'm happy to remake it, but I can't give it away for free. The first pizza meets all our quality standards. Karen's face went bright red. Are you calling me a liar? Do you know who I am? No, ma'am. I'm just explaining our small business policy. That's when Karen completely lost it. Listen here, you little pizza maker. Do you know who I am? I'm Karen Williams. My husband is the top corporate attorney in this county. I make more money in a week than you probably make in a month. You're nothing. The whole shop went dead silent. The Johnson kids stopped eating their breadsticks. Mr. Peterson looked shocked. Even the high school employees in the kitchen stopped what they were doing. Ma'am, please lower your voice, Mike said calmly, thinking about his daughter Emma and how he'd want someone to treat her. Let's work this out like adults. Don't you dare tell me what to do. You people need to learn your place. I'll destroy you. I'll write reviews on Yelp, Google, the Better Business Bureau, everywhere. I'll post on Nextdoor, Facebook, Instagram. I'll tell everyone what a terrible place this is. I'll make sure no one in this town ever comes here again. You'll be out of business by Christmas. Karen stormed out, leaving her pizza behind and slamming the door so hard the little bell above it kept ringing. The whole shop remained silent for a moment. Mike apologized to the other customers, gave the Johnson family free breadsticks and sodas, and tried to get things back to normal. Mr. Peterson patted him on the shoulder and said, "Son, some people just ain't got no class. Don't let it get to you." That night at home, Mike told Jennifer what happened while they sat at their kitchen table, Emma already asleep upstairs. "Honey, some people are just miserable," Jennifer said, squeezing his hand. "Don't let her negativity affect our family." But it did bother Mike. Millfield was a small town of only 8,000 people. Word traveled fast, and bad reviews could really hurt a family business that depended on local customers and word of mouth. The next day, Mike's fears were realized. Karen had kept her promise, and then some. On Yelp, there was a scathing 1-star review, "Worst pizza place in Ohio. Rude owner, terrible food, unsanitary conditions. The owner argued with me and was completely unprofessional. Avoid at all costs. There are much better options in Columbus." The same thing appeared on Google reviews. "Disgusting pizza, awful service. Owner is arrogant and refused to fix their obvious mistakes. Complete waste of money. Go to Pizza Hut instead." She had also posted in the Millfield community Facebook group and on Nextdoor, warning to all Millfield families about Tony's Pizza on Main Street. "Had the worst experience there last night. Owner is unprofessional and the food quality is terrible. Protect your families and your wallets. Go somewhere else." The reviews were completely fictional, but written in convincing detail. Karen wrote as if she had gotten food poisoning, as if Mike had personally insulted her family, as if the restaurant was dirty and unsafe. 2 weeks later, the impact became visible. Regular customers started asking questions. Friday night family orders decreased, and even some of the high school kids began going to the new Domino's that had opened near the highway. Mike's online rating dropped from 4.6 stars to 3.1 stars. Mike felt desperate. He contacted online reputation management companies in Columbus, but they wanted $5,000 up front. He spoke to a lawyer about defamation, but was told it would cost $15,000 minimum and take years to resolve. Jennifer started to worry about their mortgage and Emma's college fund. Mike, maybe we should consider selling to one of those pizza chains that have been calling. This is affecting Emma, too. She heard kids at school saying the restaurant was gross. Mike was heartbroken. 3 generations of the American dream built by his immigrant grandfather's hard work and sacrifice was in danger because of one entitled customer's lies. But Mike didn't give up. He believed in his community and in the American values his grandfather had taught him. He honestly explained the situation to regular customers like Mr. Peterson and the Johnson family. He shared the true story without attacking Karen personally, focusing on the facts. He contacted Sarah Mitchell, editor of the Millfield Gazette, and gave an honest interview. Small businesses are the backbone of American communities, but we're vulnerable to unfair online attacks. Sometimes one dissatisfied person can damage decades of reputation building and hurt entire families. The community began to rally. Regular customers wrote detailed positive reviews. Local business owners, including Miller from the hardware store and even his competitor at Rossi's Italian rival Mario Subs, showed support on social media. A hashtag Save Tony's Pizza campaign started on the Millfield community Facebook page. Mrs. Henderson, the retired school principal, organized a small business support night at Tony's. The Chamber of Commerce featured Mike's story in their monthly newsletter. Even Pastor Williams from First Baptist mentioned the importance of community support during his Sunday sermon. Slowly, the rating began to recover. After 6 months, it climbed back to 4.3 stars. Business not only returned to normal levels, but actually increased as people rallied around the local family business. But Mike didn't forget Karen. Around town, he noticed she was creating similar problems at other local businesses, complaining at Miller's Hardware about their return policy, arguing with the staff at Millfield Market about their produce quality, even getting into disputes at her own church. 18 months later, Mike made an interesting discovery. In a private Facebook group for Millfield business owners, he saw a conversation thread. Multiple business owners had experienced similar problems with Karen Williams, the same pattern of unreasonable demands, threats, and negative reviews when she didn't get her way. Mike realized Karen was what his father would have called a professional complainer, someone who used intimidation and the threat of bad reviews to try to get free stuff and special treatment. 2 years later, in March 2024, Karen came back to Mike's shop, but this time was completely different. She was humble, apologetic, almost desperate. "Mike," she said quietly, approaching the counter where Mike was preparing dough for the dinner rush, "can we talk privately?" Mike was surprised but remained professional. "Sure, what can I do for you?" I need to apologize for what happened 2 years ago, and I need to ask for your help." Mike was confused. "My help?" Karen started crying right there in front of the counter. "My daughter Sarah, she's getting married next month here in Millfield. We need catering for 75 people at the reception. Every catering company in town has either blacklisted me because of my behavior or they're already booked. You're honestly my last hope." Mike was processing what he was hearing. "You want me to cater your daughter's wedding? After what you tried to do to my family's business? I know how this sounds. I was going through a terrible time back then. My marriage was falling apart. I had financial stress, health problems. I was angry at the world and I took it out on innocent people who didn't deserve it. I was wrong, Mike. Completely wrong." Mike looked at this woman who had nearly destroyed his family's livelihood, now standing in his restaurant, begging for help. "Karen, you almost ruined 3 generations of my family's work. My wife couldn't sleep for months. My daughter heard kids at school saying our restaurant was dirty. You attacked everything my grandfather built when he came to this country with nothing. I know, I'm so sorry. I'll write public apologies on every platform where I attacked you. I'll tell the whole truth about what really happened. I'll do whatever it takes. Please, Sarah's wedding is in 3 weeks and she doesn't know about any of this. I can't let my mistakes ruin her special day." Mike thought about it. His grandfather's values, Christian forgiveness, the American belief in second chances, but also business sense and protecting his family. "If I agree to do this," Mike said, "here are my non-negotiable conditions. You write detailed, honest apology posts on Yelp, Google, Facebook, Nextdoor, everywhere you attacked me. You explain exactly what really happened and that you lied in your reviews. You tell people that Tony's Pizza is an excellent family business, and you pay the full amount in advance." "Yes, absolutely." How much would it cost? For 75 people, full Italian-American catering menu with appetizers, main courses, and desserts? $3,200. Karen's eyes widened. The normal price would have been around $2,400, but Mike was charging a premium for the risk and the history. That's quite expensive. Karen, you tried to destroy my family's reputation and livelihood. This is strictly business now, not personal charity. Take it or leave it. Karen agreed without further argument. The next day, she returned with $3,200 in cash. During the wedding week, Mike and his team did an absolutely extraordinary job. Fresh pasta made that morning, homemade marinara and Alfredo sauces using his grandmother's recipes, artisanal garlic bread, perfectly seasoned Italian sausage, and a dessert spread that included traditional cannoli. Sarah's wedding reception catering was flawless. The wedding guests couldn't stop talking about the food. This is incredible. Where did you get this catering? I've never had Italian food this authentic. This is better than restaurants in Columbus. Karen had to admit to everyone who asked, Tony's Pizza on Main Street. They're actually the best restaurant in town. I was wrong about them before. After the wedding, Karen kept her word. She wrote detailed, honest apology reviews. I owe Tony's Pizza and the Rossi family a huge public apology. 2 years ago, I wrote completely false negative reviews because I was going through personal problems, and I unfairly took my anger out on them. The truth is, Tony's Pizza is absolutely the best restaurant in Millfield, Ohio. Mike Rossi is professional, kind, and makes incredible, authentic Italian-American food. I was completely wrong, and I'm deeply sorry for any damage I caused to the reputation. This family business deserves all our support. The apology posts went viral throughout Millfield and even got shared in surrounding towns. The community respected Mike for giving Karen a second chance while standing firm on his principles. Business boomed more than ever, with people driving from Columbus just to try the pizza they'd heard about. 6 months later, Karen occasionally came in for pizza, always polite and respectful, always leaving good tips. Mike treated her like any other customer, professional but maintaining appropriate boundaries. Jennifer asked one evening while they balanced the books, "Do you ever regret helping her with the wedding?" Mike thought carefully. "You know what I learned? Some people are just struggling with problems we can't see. That doesn't excuse Karen's behavior. What she did was wrong and it hurt our family. But helping her taught me something about the values my grandfather brought from Italy and found in America. Hard work, family, community, and yes, even forgiveness." "Are you friends with her now?" "No," Mike laughed. "We're not friends and we never will be. But I don't hate her anymore either. And business-wise, it worked out better than I ever imagined. Her public apology brought more positive attention than her original attacks brought negative attention." A year later, Tony's Pizza won the Best Family Restaurant Award from the Millfield Chamber of Commerce. At Mike's acceptance speech at the Millfield Community Center, "Small businesses are the heart of American communities like ours. Sometimes we face challenges, competition, economic downturns, even attacks on our reputation. But what I learned is that when you do right by people, when you maintain your values and trust your community, America still rewards hard work and integrity. We're grateful for every customer who supported us through difficult times." Karen was in the audience that night, applauding with everyone else. After the ceremony, she approached Mike near the dessert table. "Congratulations, Mike. You and your family truly deserve this recognition." "Thank you, Karen. I learned something important through all this," she said. "Respect and kindness have to be earned through how we treat others, not demanded because of who we think we are. You earned mine through your character." Mike nodded. "Take care of yourself, Karen." As Mike drove home that night through the quiet streets of Millfield, he thought about the entire experience. 2 years ago, he'd almost lost the American dream his grandfather had built with his own hands. Tonight, he was holding an award, surrounded by a community that had rallied around his family. Sometimes the most difficult customers teach you the most valuable lessons about resilience, forgiveness, and what really matters in business. Not just profit, but people, integrity, and community. The American dream isn't just about success. It's about how you handle both failure and triumph.
Tony's Pizza continued thriving, stronger than ever. And Mike had learned that while you can't control difficult people, you can control your response to them. And sometimes that response defines not just your business, but your character. That, perhaps, was the most valuable lesson his grandfather could have taught him about being both a businessman and an American.